Alright, what's up guys? So I haven't done one of these art tutorial kind of videos in a while, but I'm finally done with high school, so I'm going to have a lot of free time during the summer between now and then my college. But recently, I've been getting into leather work. I have a bunch of leather, bunch of tools. That's gonna last me for a while, but Mother's Day just passed and didn't get anything for my mom, but I did tell her that I'm gonna be making her purse. So her gift is on layaway right now. It's been about like a week since Mother's Day, and it's about time to start working on the project. This is going to be what we're making today. It's a little handbag, kind of like a more tote style. And I found a tote bag tutorial online that is pretty much what I'm gonna be doing. Like, it's gonna be some different details, such as, you know, this top edge over here, it's gonna be scalloped. So this is the leather right over here. Pretty bright orange tone to it. It's a tumble leather. This is the real deal, guys. This is the best leather you're gonna get. So this is definitely one of the things you're gonna be needing. You need the leather to make the purse, of course. And then let me show you guys some of the tools that we're gonna be needing for this project. So here are the tools that I'm working with today. My room's kind of a mess right now, and here's all the rest of the leather. I've just kind of been doing a bunch of projects lately. First, we are going to need, let's see, this. We're gonna need this to cut through the leather. Of course, we need some thread, and of course your needles. This is gonna be a hole puncher to be able to sew through, and this is the actual hole puncher you're gonna need for when you're gonna add all the button details. So you need this tool over here. This is to finish off the edges. We're just gonna round it more out. And then to further finish the edges, we need this burnishing gum right over here, the burnishing gum, and then you need this tool to kind of, you know, smooth it all down. And if you guys do want to add the scallop details that I'm doing, we have these semicircle punchers. And then if you guys want, we have this strap cutter right over here to cut the straps out. So there you have it. Those are all the tools you're gonna be needing. Pretty beginner friendly, because I'm a beginner at this leather crafting stuff, so hopefully I don't mess this up. So let's start off by cutting out our pattern. So like I was saying, I'm basically going off of another YouTube video, which again I'll link below. So for that pattern, it looks something like this. So it's gonna be this one piece of leather, and of course I gotta make the strap separately, but this one piece of leather that you end up folding in, you're gonna sew it at the sides over here, and then you're gonna sew it right at the bottom over here together. So I've ran into kind of a problem when it comes to working with this tumbled leather. Tumbled leather is supposed to be softer. It's not really stiff, it's more soft. That's why it's called tumbled leather, and it has a texture like this. And so I don't think it's gonna be able to hold itself up just because it's able to fold on itself like this. So gonna do some problem solving here. I went ahead and I cut another piece of leather out of this veg chan leather right over here. It's a lot more stiff. Like if I drop it, it's not really gonna fold on itself too much. It's just gonna fold in half, and that's what we really want. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this to the other side of this leather over here. This side over here, it's gonna be like suede to suede, and it's basically just gonna act as a liner slash like stiffener for the entire thing. So we're gonna go ahead and glue the suede sides together, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and carve down these edges that I'm gonna end up sewing. So this edge, this edge, this edge, and then these two edges right here, and the same thing when it comes to this side as well. Alright, so I went ahead and glued both of the pieces together. So this is the veg tan side and this is the tumble leather side. I'm kind of afraid because now it's like too thick to even like bend really. So it's going to be a challenge trying to sew this thing together. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and just add some of the details I need to add, such as just like the holes that we're going to be punching for either the straps and then also like the snaps in the middle. Oh yeah, and then I also need to do the scalloped edges right over here. I'm probably going to do that right now as the first thing. So. Alright, so here we have the purse with the scalloped edges right over here. It looks pretty clean, everything's pretty closed up. The glue seems to hold it pretty well. You know, I was thinking about putting some glue just like on top of here to finish it off, but I don't think it'll look too good. But to actually finish off your leather pieces, you're usually going to need either some beeswax, or in my case, I have this burnishing gum over here. Alright, so I went ahead and just coated the edge, and we're just going to use this burnishing tool. The edges are going to look a lot more round and just a lot more smooth, and it's just going to have a nice clean finish to it. There you go, you can see kind of the difference. It still has to dry a little bit and it'll get even more shiny, but from here to here looks pretty nice. I'm just going to burnish all the edges around here. Alright, so now that I have this piece all finished off with the edges and everything, we're going to go ahead and add all the little details. I have this whole picture right over here that I'm going to use to punch some holes. We're going to go ahead and punch holes in the middle right here, and also where the straps should be. So we're just going to go ahead and add the snaps. Alright, and we also have to punch the holes into the straps as well, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm trying to get this purse done in a really quick timing, so a lot of this is just being done on the fly. I'm kind of just improvising. So some of the things I've had to improvise is like the distance of buttons for the straps, even down to where I'm adding the scallops. I didn't like specify where I was gonna put the scalloped edges. You see how there's this like tip over here. I didn't specify where I wanted to start the scalloped edges until right now, and I'm grateful that it's like perfectly lined up so that it's not gonna look too weird when I sew these two sides together. A couple of things I had to improvise is with this middle part over here. I had to skyve this down because you know, again, these two layers are like too thick, so when it comes to adding this flower right in the middle, it will not go, the snap will not go all the way to the other side unless I like have it skived down. So the last thing I had to improvise on was with these straps. So I did cut 2 layers of the veg tan as well as the tumble leather, but it turns out because of, again, like the length of the snaps as well as the thickness of the leathers, I'm only going to be able to use 1 cut of leather for the straps. So I'm just going to go with this tumbled leather, and it's durable enough, like it's not going to break or anything. I can pull as much as I want and it's going to last you for a while. Got the straps in on both sides, so one side and then the other side, and we're just going to go ahead and hammer this down, and we're also going to hammer down the actual like snap fasteners for the flower on this side over here as well as the other side. Alright, so I have some bad news regarding the purse. Well, good news first. I was able to put the straps on and they're holding up pretty well. Bad news is that this flower over here, this snap, I could put it on, but the thing is that I had to cut even more. I had to cut a whole entire hole in between these two fabrics so that it could go through and actually have a chance of like clicking through with the other part of the snap. It still can't go through. The leather's too thick to even like give it a chance to go together. Just gonna go ahead and sew this thing up because it's still needing to be closed off. So what we're gonna do is sew these two edges right over here together, and we're just gonna start by punching our holes, and then we're just gonna sew right about over here, and it should look like this once we're done. Alright, so I went ahead and punched all the holes for this side over here, and I already have my needle and thread ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and perform a saddle stitch all throughout that one edge. This is gonna take me at least like 2 hours to do. I got like 4 stitches done so far, and that already took like, I don't know, 10 minutes. So I will see you guys after I'm finished sewing this edge. Finally finished sewing the two sides up. Here are the stitches right over here. Look, for the most part, it's good. It's gonna hold everything together. So yeah, I mean, apart from this mistake over here, I ended up having to glue a piece of leather over here because I cut it all out. You know, we're gonna figure this the closure out later, and it's definitely gonna look a lot better with the closure because this is how it looks without it. And then if you kind of like squish it in like this, it looks a lot better in my opinion. So I finally decided what I wanted to do for the closure. So in the video that I'm gonna post down below, he has a closure that kind of wraps around and then clicks. So it's gonna be something like this, just the flower, and then it's got the whole stem and everything, and it's gonna stretch over the purse like this, and then just kind of click in right over here. So the last thing we have to end up sewing is just going to be these corners right over here. So I finally finished sewing these two edges right over here. Pretty clean, not as hard as I thought it would be. I have like 5 minutes and I gotta go to a graduation party, so just gonna make this real fast. We finished the bag, man. It looks very similar to what I had drawn up, you know, like the shape of it, the flower in the middle, and of course, you know, some details weren't the same as I thought it would be, even just like the inside of the bag, but it looks pretty clean. We pretty much completed this bag already, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish these edges right over here, and I'll show you guys the finished product.